Hey, Maria, back with another video. Today I was making it an arts and crafts day, so I wasn't really doing a whole lot to get out of the house, and I have no intentions of leaving the house at all. So I'm kind of bouncing back between art projects, and so I got a little bored, because, I've been a little down lately, so I decided to look at some videos. And I saw that Tammy Blacklisted had a video called Targeted Individual Awakening, and I had so many things were just kind of going through my mind because, I think, I'm kind of taking another spin on this, but I think when you're a targeted individual, it awakens you on different levels. And I do believe that there is something very metaphysical about being targeted, because it's kind of like your senses picks up on the negativity before you even need any sort of physical confirmation that you are indeed being targeted. And a lot of people have mentioned this. They got this gut feeling, and a lot of times you'll notice that you're having problems sleeping. And I think, it's kind of like when we were little, we used to play games on the playground, like, for example, if you stare at somebody from a distance, like maybe across the playground or something, and you just keep staring at that person, eventually they're going to start sensing that they're being watched, and they turn around and look at you. Or you might kind of push back and forth on somebody who's just sitting still, and sure enough, they'll start rocking back and forth. There is something very, it's like a sixth sense that people have long forgotten to use, because we are so inundated with the daily programming of television and things that kind of skew our realities, and we're kind of not at the natural state that we were meant to be in. But targeting does intensify these issues. I do believe that there is like some sort of spiritual psychic link kind of to being targeted with that intensity, because when I first started when it started kicking in, I couldn't sleep at night. I also have personal beliefs, suspicions, or at least, I'd have to talk to somebody who's very well versed in these sort of kind of phenomenon type of, I guess, realities. I don't know what you want to call it, but I do know that it affected my sleep a lot. I do know that you've become very aware, so it just opens up all of these centers that have long been dormant. And I suspect that, people who experience strokes and heart attacks, I'm not saying that they don't actually have health-related problems that have already existed, but I have a little hypothesis here that it can very well have something to do with having so much negativity being directed towards you. I do know that there's several cultures, who try to avert that sort of negativity, so they'll wear like little signs and symbols and stuff like that to try to avert that sort of energy that's being directed towards a person. So that's the spiritual side of targeting. I also think that there is an awakening when it comes to the realities of not just the spiritual life, but also our earthly life, our earthly existence. As far as having to deal with the reality of knowing that people really are not as trustworthy as we'd like them to be, okay? We don't live in a society that is, preaching and living actively the love and giving and the peace, that they're so commonly portrayed on TV. Like you watch things on TV, and people care, and they're sharing, and they're it's just that unrealistic mindset that we have been programmed to believe. But in reality, people are very cruel and evil. And so when you're a targeted individual, you are also becoming more aware of not just the spiritual things that are around us, but also the physical things that are existing on Earth and the harsh realities of them. She brought up the law of attraction, which I do believe to a certain extent in that. I do believe that people do have that gift. There's a scripture in the Bible, there's actually a few, but one that comes to mind The only one I can really think of is when, they were talking, the parable when they were talking to Jesus about, Lord, didn't we not prophesy in your name and expel demons in your name and these sort of things in your name? And Jesus says, I never knew you. Get away from me, you ask me, workers of lawlessness. The point that I'm trying to make in this particular scripture is that that these people, even though they were hypocritical and maybe not really walking with Jesus, still yet have these abilities to actually cast out demons. They still have the ability to do these wonderful, mysterious works, okay? So I do believe that there is a certain thing that relates to universal law, okay? And there's a lot of research that people can do. She did bring up The Secret. That's one book that you could read. But there's a lot of, in the early 1900s here in the United States, there was a huge spiritualist movement combined with Christianity who were very aware of these metaphysic type energies. And so they kind of incorporated that with their religious worship. But anyway, but yeah, I do believe that there is definitely an awakening of targeted individuals, and I do believe that targeted individuals are very special because they're getting so much attention, whether that be good, bad, or whatever, but they're very aware of the harsh realities of this world. So I think that's pretty much all I really wanted to say. It did kind of triggered my mind, and it was very stimulating because it made me think about a lot of different things. And she also talked about her perception and her beliefs, I grew up to believe that, when you hit 40, you were just kind of like, I don't know, non-existent, like you didn't matter. I mean, but inside of myself, I feel like I'm just like a teenager because I don't stop loving the things that I enjoy. I still love music, I still love clothes, I still love the things that make a person, and I think a lot of women, 40-year-old women, sometimes I don't know what it is, why a lot of women, 40 and older for that matter, want to fall into this idea that they have to stop living their life or being happy and being vibrant, that they were before. I mean, I think it's societal beliefs and people just maybe being corralled by the herd to maybe, for example, let's just say, for example, you're 40-something years old and you like dancing, okay? And, what's wrong with dancing? I love dancing, okay? I mean, I don't really have the opportunity to go out and dance or anything like that, but I do. I love dancing. And some people might think that's something, I just think there's a lot of things that we do that really don't have anything to do with your age. If you are able to get out on the dance floor at 40 years old, if you're able to do it at 50 or 60, hell, if you're 70, okay? If you're 70 and you can still kick up your heels and enjoy it and dance with the beat, why not enjoy those things, okay? I think some people get things mixed up. Like they think, well, that's childish. They think that if you do certain things that you're childish or you're immature. And I don't believe that that's true. I have another definition for immaturity, by the way, but to me, as long as you are able to know the difference between right and wrong, you're a responsible person, you may go out, I mean, I'm not like, okay, I don't party or anything like that, and I don't really go out dancing. I mean, that would be great if somebody offered to hang out and go to a dance club or something. That would be cool. I mean, I haven't done that in years, but I certainly wouldn't make a habit of it. But my point is that if that's what you want to do and it makes you feel good, then by all means do it. But as long as you're not irresponsible, okay? Like, for example, if you're a 40-year-old woman and you got children at home and you're going out and you're doing that and you're kind of just shrugging off your responsibilities to your family and doing things that are irresponsible, you're not paying your bills, you're not doing things that you're supposed to do to maintain a household, and you're running around like with a teenage mindset that, you have no care in the world, and then I think that's a problem, okay? But because you have certain hobbies and you want to continue to do them, or you like certain things, you like to, dress a certain way, or you enjoy certain things in life, you shouldn't let that stop you just because you've hit a certain age. I mean, I think that's crazy. Now, some people say, well, you know, and they always will give you these really funny examples like, what about 60-year-old women who are wearing low-cut dresses? You know, okay, you know what? I don't know what to say about that, okay? I personally don't think that looks great, but you know what? To each his own, okay? If you don't like it, you can always, you can always turn and look the other way, okay? But I believe that people should live the life that their authentic life and, you know, be who they are. Whatever that person may be, you know, and as long as you're not hurting other people, why not? Why not and do the things that you enjoy doing? I still love stuffed animals and I love dolls, you know, I like, you know, I mean, if you were to come into my bedroom, you would see that I enjoy things that a lot of people have stopped doing, probably because society has told them to stop doing it. I don't see anything wrong with enjoying dolls. I see nothing wrong with enjoying stuffed animals. I really don't. You know, now if I believe that they were real, you know, or you know, I reserved them or put them on a pedestal the same way I did people, okay, and I do make jokes about that, right? But I do know that there's a difference. I just think they're cute little objects, so why not enjoy them? I just think that it's just a lot of bullshit, you know. There's a lot of pressure, societal pressure to be something that you're not, you know. So when you hear a lot of women my age bore me to death. They just do, because they have given up on life and they don't care. They don't see, they can't think outside the box. They're afraid to be who they are. And so, but then again, you know, I can't really say I enjoy a lot of young women either, because, you know, they're doing things that, and not because I feel like I'm too old to do, it's just I personally just don't have, it's a completely different generation. I mean, why would I be interested in a lot of things that 20-year-old something do? But of course, they still like, you know, sewing or, you know, I don't know, stuff that we have in common. But anyway, that video just really made me think a little bit. And, I do believe that, you know, there's an awakening going on here on Earth anyway. I mean, whether you're a targeted individual or not, but I would say that it's more with targeted individuals, but I do think that there's a lot of people who are opening up their minds and starting to think for themselves. Unfortunately, that's not in large numbers, but I'm really hoping eventually people will start, you know, releasing themselves from these ridiculous bonds that are keeping them down. You know, if you're a 40, 50-something-year-old woman and you feel young inside, you know, you have the right to express that. Enjoy life. I mean, good grief. I mean, we only have so many years on this planet. You might as well indulge in the things that you enjoy. So I'm going to wrap this video up, and have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.